maybe the most intriguing team in curling in a long, long time. A living legend in Jennifer Jones coming together with Mackenzie Zacharias, one of the most talented young Manitoba teams to come out of the province in a long time. What a pleasure to have you ladies on the show. What's going on? How are you?
Fantastic. So much fun. We had a great day today, and we curled last weekend and we're curling again this weekend. So we're kind of living the life right now.
You know what? We're so used to always the big smile on your face, but even just, seeing you guys walk around here before, it really does seem like there's an incredible sense of excitement about this new chapter in your career, Jen. I mean, tell us about it.
Yeah, no, I'm really excited. The girls are just so eager to work hard, and they have so much drive and determination and passion, and it's infectious. So it's great to be a part of it, and it reminds me of what I was like when I was their age. And it's just, I think we're going to learn from each other and hopefully have some success along the way.
Well, Mackenzie, great to have you on the program for the first time. I mean, this is just such a cool story. I mean, even for people that aren't like big time curling fans, I mean, everyone knows Jennifer Jones. Everyone knows the resume that she has. But if you've been paying attention the last few years, I mean, you guys, through everything you did incredibly on a national level as juniors, moving into the ranks, I mean, had really sort of made a name for yourselves. And I mean, it was a big headline when your team was teaming up with maybe the best to ever do it. I mean, how would you describe the changes for you and your team hooking up with Jen going into this upcoming season in the next 4 years?
Yeah. Throughout juniors, we all we wanted to do was play women's and get to the Scotties, and I mean playing the Grand Slam. So now having the opportunity to play with Jen, we feel like we may have kickstarted our career into or when we just got out of juniors, but there's such a big gap when it comes to curling. And when we were able to team up with Jen, we're like, okay, we're going from here to here really quick, really fast. And I mean, we're all here for it and we're all so excited about it. And we can't wait for all the different opportunities that we're going to get playing with Jen. I mean, personally learning from her as well. It's just, I think, like Jen said, it's going to be a win-win for both parties. And we're just so excited to we're not just individual people, but we're a team together and we're excited to show people that.
Obviously, I mean, one of the youngest teams last year around. Got to ask you, I mean, when did you first meet Jennifer Jones? Was she always a hero of yours? I mean, what sort of interaction did you have with Jen before obviously this came together and now you're teammates?
Yeah, growing up, I mean, from a small town, we all we could do is curl or play hockey, right? So, my parents, they're like, "Let's do curling. It's a little bit cheaper." It's a no, I'm kidding. They were curlers as well, so they wanted us to just give it a try, and we kind of stuck out with it. And watching on TV, I mean, from Manitoba, you got to cheer for Manitoba. And I mean, Jennifer Jones was representing the province like every single year, and how could you not cheer for them? They won everything, did everything that I aspired to do. So she was such a role model to me, and I know the rest of the girls as well growing up. So to now have the opportunity to not only be like sitting next to her and learning from her, but to get to play with her, it's unbelievable and something that I don't even think has completely been processed through my mind. But I mean, it's just been incredible so far this year, and we're looking forward to learning and everything that's to come.
Now, Jen, I've got to ask you. I mean, listen, we don't need to, go through your entire career and the incredible players that you've played with, but I mean, you've been at the highest level for a really long time. You've done it all. I mean, there's not anything else really on the bucket list that you could do. Tell us about continuing to play and maybe moving on from your old team and this new chapter with these exciting young players from your home province.
Yeah, it was just I wasn't ready to stop. Like I always said I'd keep playing. I always think I'll know inside when I'm ready to stop, and I still want to get better. So I always said I'd stop playing when I lost that desire to practice and try to improve my game, and so I still want to get better. And then when I looked at I knew my team, we felt like, our time had kind of come to an end, and that's totally okay. We're still really good friends and everything is good. And Dawn was retiring, and it was just kind of the next chapter for everybody. And it just they're the next ones, like they're the next up and coming team. And I admired what they did on the ice, and I really admired them as people. And I had talked to Carly a little bit, and her determination, passion, and dedication, like they really, really want to be successful. And then I talked to Mackenzie, and it just seemed to be a really good fit for what I was looking for. I wanted to work hard, see if I could improve my game and leave the game in the way that, I remember just playing, and that spark and that energy and that excitement. And when Caitlin joined our team, I don't know, 12 years ago, I guess it was. She was just out of juniors too. So it was it's kind of a similar story, and it's just really fun to be with them and to help them kind of grow into the next phase of their career.
Mackenzie, I'm interested. I mean, you mentioned that it's almost unbelievable of how, how quickly, your career has progressed at the women's level, and now obviously teaming up with Jen. Do you remember like the first call? I mean, when this first came on your radar? And I'm very interested after that call or conversation, what you were like 5 or 10 minutes afterwards, sort of processing what might be on the table for you.
Oh man, yeah, I do remember that first call. It was during the winter because winter lasted forever here in Manitoba this year, and I was walking outside, and Carly's like, "Oh, we gotta call Jen. She wants to chat with you." I was like, "Okay, okay." But we were outside. I was freezing cold, so I was like chattering on the phone. I'm like, "This is Jennifer Jones. I'm talking to you. I got to try to like stay warm here, but also like have a good conversation with her." And I mean, from like just the way she talked, even on the phone, you could tell how passionate she was about the sport and how much she like really cared and even noticed our team because none of us I don't even think realized how many people were maybe watching us or we were on their radar. So to even have that acknowledgement and for her to say that like I think you guys are the next big thing or I think you guys can take it to the next level and I want to help you with that, it was something that had never crossed my mind before. So now getting the opportunity to talk to Jennifer Jones and then her saying all these things, it was like, okay, like somebody else believes in us, like somebody else thinks that we can do this. Okay, let's do this. Like, how can we not?
You know what? And obviously, I mean, we only have so much room here. I mean, just half the team here right now. I mean, fill us in on the rest of the team, and then we'll maybe ask you similar things about the reaction of the other girls about the opportunity to play with the queen here.
The queen.
Yeah, it was shock all across the board, I think. Like the first time I heard about it, like Carly had texted us, she's like, "So I got a call," and it was from Jennifer Jones. I was like, what?" Like, and then the other girls too. It was like, whoa, like literally like whoa, and yeah, we were just all shocked, but also like so like inspired and encouraged, like I said before, that someone wanted to play with us and wanted to help us take it to the next step.
Now, Jennifer, how of course, you've been playing out of Ontario before. Now it's great to see you back. You'll be representing your home province in Manitoba, I guess. How is that working?
Well, I've never actually represented another province, only Manitoba, always. So when we moved, but we're still going to represent Manitoba, and everybody's living here, and it means a lot to us to represent the place that kind of brought us the love of curling.
Yeah, I guess that's true. So how did that work before? I mean, you played. I guess you were a wild card very often in the Scotties.
It's kind of complicated, but they do allow birthright. So I was born here, so they allow me to continue to represent Manitoba even after I moved. So that's been how we've done it before, and how we'll, I guess, continue to do it this year. But all the other girls live in Manitoba, so it's just me.
And but I mean, when the season gets going, is it you basically are able to just get together in and around events? I mean, do you get together? Do you do a big training camp beforehand where you're throwing rocks for 8 hours a day and getting to work as a team? I mean, I am interested in the dynamics of coming together. Playing at such a high level. What goes into trying to get that teamwork before you're actually playing against some of the best teams in the world?
Yeah, it's been pretty good. I actually came and spent a few weeks out here in the summer, which was great. Got to see some family and friends, and then we got together and kind of got to know each other. We were on the ice and had a pool party. Kind of just we had some fun. So and then before the events, well, we always just plan to either go in early or I'll come here and train with them, or if we're flying out east, then they'll stop in Ontario and train with me there. So it's definitely manageable. And even this week, we're only home. The girls are only home for 36 hours. So it's not like you can definitely make it work. It's just a little bit of planning involved, and it's not as complicated as it sounds.
Mackenzie, for you and the other women on the team, I mean, what's life outside of curling like for you? And how much time do you guys spend together practicing, even when Jen might be in the other province? Are you guys doing school right now? Is there work outside? I mean, fill us in on everything that fills your day outside of throwing rocks and preparing for this exciting next 4 years.
Yeah, we're all four very busy. Carly and I just graduated, so we're working now as much as we can when we're not curling. We're very fortunate to have some very understanding workplaces, and they're more than willing to help us like want to and be determined to achieve our goals. So we're very thankful for that. And then Emily and Lauren are still in school, so they're finishing up, but they were fortunate enough to be able to get all their classes online still, so they're going to be able to take that with them. So I think it's going to work out really well for us to be on the road most of the winter, and yeah, we'll see how it goes.
I guess, for most students, everything that's happened the last couple of years is probably stunk. I mean, you don't get the chance to see people. But if you're trying to, follow an Olympic dream and you're all over the place, probably is actually some real benefits from what, the changes that have happened over the last couple of years due to, unfortunately, what's happened all around the world.
Yeah, I know. Like, I don't know how long my degree would have actually taken me if it wasn't online. Like, online school wasn't my favorite thing, but I'm so thankful for it in the end because I was able to take all of my hard courses online. Even some labs were online, which worked out really well with curling, especially when you have to be at school for those. So, in the end, it all worked out to the best that it could have.
Jen, I was talking with Reed and Gunnar earlier, and I mean, just two of my favorite guys. I mean, that's the thing about Manitoba curling. I mean, it's the people about it, and I think for curling fans, both of these teams are so exciting. But the entire landscape of the sport, especially here in Canada, I'm not sure there's ever been more change ever in an off season. I mean, just from someone that has played against so many of these teams over the past number of years. I mean, in addition to your own situation, choosing and figuring out what you're going to do, how would you describe the incredible upheaval amongst all these teams? I mean, most of the teams will be unrecognizable as opposed to what happened at the end of last season.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting start to the season. I think you're going to see it more and more. Like over the last, we'll say 20 years, but every 4 years you see changes, and then you see more changes the next 4 years. And I think this is going to be the new trend. So it's going to be 4-year commitments, but it's going to be interesting fall just to see, for curling fans, to see how everything shakes down, and to watch their new, like, if they're fans, watch their new teams and how they work together. And I know we've had lots of interest in what we're doing, so it's kind of fun for curling fans. I think it's going to get a lot of people engaged just to see, just from an interesting point of view, like just to see how all the new teams like click together.
I had a great conversation with Brent, your husband, and Mike McEwen a couple of weeks back, and they were lamenting the lack of ice in the summer in a lot of places, and it's sort of, for someone that's maybe on the outskirts, I'm like, really? I mean, many of the European teams have facilities and programs where they're basically going 12 months a year, and it can be a bit of a disadvantage for teams. I'm interested, with the new team. You mentioned you guys have gotten together a little bit. Have you been able to throw rocks very much? I mean, what's the summer been like as far as actual curling, and how much does the pace get picked up right when you get onto the ice coming up very soon?
Yeah, we were pretty lucky. We did the same as Reed and Gunnar. We went and played in Morris, practiced in Morris, because we were a new team and we really wanted to kind of get to know each other. And so we did that over the summer. But yeah, it's challenging. It was the only place in Canada that I think that had ice. I'm not sure if that's completely accurate, but I thought so, until I think Saville Center got some in August or maybe July. So it is a little bit of a challenging situation, and just coming together. We're fortunate that it's in our home province, so we could go and practice in Morris, and I got to still visit family and friends. They got to work and do their thing. But if that wasn't the case, it would be a lot more challenging to get together and to do that.
Is Morris in the summer just like the who's who of the curling world? Like, are all the curlers coming in to hang out there? I mean,
you should come check it
I was
out.
about to say.
And you could take some lessons in the summer because there's not as many people watching, and then show up and be a superstar.
Yeah, I'm not sure if there's going to be any superstar action. I'll leave that to you guys to put together. It is nice. Did I see correct? Are you guys playing this weekend?
Yeah, we play tomorrow.
So full disclosure, I knew that this was happening, and I'm really looking forward to hooking up with you all. And the date was September 1st. Okay, this is Remus, of course, has been away, so I've been working on making sure we were able to do this. And shout out to Neil and the gang here who have been very, very helpful to make sure we could pull all this off. But yesterday I was doing our Cool Bet lines, and I noticed that, there's a curling event coming up, and I pulled it up, and you're in it. I'm like, wait a second, we're doing something live in person on Thursday at Princess Ottawa. So basically, you guys have a flight later on tonight or first thing tomorrow? And
no, tonight. We fly out straight from here. We'll go.
No rest for the wicked.
or the kind. I don't know.
Is this the is this the first actual official event that you guys will be playing as your new team?
No, we played last weekend too.
And,
We
okay,
flew. They flew home on Tuesday.
August events, is that a little earlier than normal? I will tell. Hey, Mackenzie, I'll ask you, what was it like? First time as a new team, how did it go, and how did it feel?
It was awesome. It was so much fun. We flew into Quebec and we played in Saint Félicien.
C'est bon.
Yeah, thank you. But yeah, it was great to get on the ice for the first time and then work out a couple of kinks. But I mean, there were so many positive things, and things honestly just clicked right away when we got out there. Me myself, I was playing a new position, so I had to learn a little bit about that. But it was so much fun, and I'm just so excited for the rest of the season and getting to play nearly every weekend with the rest of this team.
Well, it is neat. And I mean, I can feel your excitement. And I think we all knew that that would be the case when we heard about the news. But I mean, Jennifer, in your situation, with something new and you feel all this youthful exuberance, I mean, it must be almost like, well, I mean, a new beginning in a lot of ways, but it must have a real effect on you as well. That, it's obviously at a different stage, you've got a family and stuff like that. But in a way, I mean, does it bring you back to kind of where you were a few years back before you'd accomplished so many of the things that are on the resume now?
Yeah, in a little bit. Like it does kind of bring you back in time for sure. But I mean, I love to curl. I love to curl as much, I think, as anybody. And I just love being on the ice and I love being a part of a team. And they're truly amazing teammates. So I feel really blessed to have this opportunity. And then just, yeah, to watch curling through their eyes and, obviously I've had a lot of experience but to see it through their eyes is pretty magical. And they're so great with my kids. My kids came over, they're playing with them and they always ask me about them. We've become instantaneously friends. So as much as there is a little bit of an age gap, I never feel the age gap at all. And they always ask me about the girls and what we're doing, and they're super engaged, and they're wonderful people. It's a privilege to share the ice with them, and I'm really excited to see what the season brings.
No one would know this better than you, considering everything that you've accomplished. I mean, when you think about it for your sport, um, what's the most important parts of making a great team? And how important is getting along and really connecting off the ice as opposed to the way you guys work together as teammates on the ice?
I think that really depends on the people, but I believe that team chemistry will give you that extra 5 to 10%. Like everybody can be great players and you can make the shots, but that team chemistry, that belief in each other can really take you to the next level. And that's one thing that we weren't sure. You never know when you get together and you're forming a new team how that's going to go. And I know I'm speaking for myself, but I thought it was like exceptionally. It went exceptionally well in the summer. We had so many laughs and it just felt really natural on the ice and just natural to be around each other and to go for dinner and room together and all of those things. So, and super supportive. I feel like we're all really supportive on the ice, and that's kind of one of the biggest hurdles to get over, and we've already got it.
You mentioned 5 members of the team. How does that work? I mean, do you have a regular? Do you switch it up in and around? I mean, or is that just something that'll sort of you'll see how it goes as it goes, depending on the situation?
Yeah, the 5-person team, that's not something that's super common right now in curling, but I know like Jen has a little bit of experience with it. They had 5 people for the past couple of years, I believe. And we tried it out last weekend, and honestly, it worked pretty well. Like Emily and I switched out that weekend, and then this weekend it'll be a little bit different. And our lineup will kind of be a little bit fluid, I think, throughout the year, and everyone's going to get a chance to play. That's the whole point of the 5-person team is nobody's a fifth. So everyone is a team member, everyone gets to play. And honestly, I think it's going to make us better because one, we get a little bit more rest. And 2, we're going to be playing a couple different positions. And I think that's going to make us all better teammates and also better players in the end.
I mean, you do have some experience on that. I mean, how different is that? Is there, I don't want to say like internal competition, but I mean, when you have that extra person, everyone playing at a high level, I'd imagine the idea, hopefully the result is it really does bring out the best in everyone when they've got the opportunity to be on the ice.
Yeah, and that's the idea for sure. And you never know how it's going to work again. But then last weekend, I feel like everybody's really selfless. Like everybody just wants the best for the team and whatever that means for them. And that's always what you aspire to. But then you never know if you're actually going to get that. And I feel like we've already got that on the team. We just want to do what's best for the team. And yeah, so so far it's working out good. And like Mackenzie said, you can get some rest if somebody's not feeling well, if somebody's got another commitment. So we can still play a lot, but still in the same breath, like get a little bit of rest in there as well. And But it's really important for us that everybody feels like we're one team. We're one team. Like nobody's the fifth player. We're all equal teammates on and off the ice.
Well, I have to say, selfishly, and I think for Manitoba curling fans, I'll just speak for them. I think people are just so excited about the look of your team, as well as Reed playing with Jason. And obviously, I selfishly, I'm extra happy that you guys are under the Princess Auto umbrella, because hopefully we'll be getting you guys on for a few more little updates on our Princess Auto curling reports throughout the season to see how the team is doing.
Anytime. And the girls were like, we're going to try to do some like stuff on the road. So maybe we could even do an interview. We're going to try to take it next level on all counts. So if you need us, you just let us know.
Well, listen, we will certainly make that happen. And just seriously though, I mean, the ability to travel, play these events, it is expensive. The support of a title sponsor like Princess Auto, I mean, I'd imagine this doesn't happen if you don't get that. I mean, just a quick,
you couldn't do it without the support. Like Princess Auto has been absolutely incredible, and we couldn't do this without them. But it's more, you feel like you're a part of their family, and that is so rare in life. You just really feel like everybody's behind you. You're part of this incredible family. And I think the girls even walking in here today, like it's just so evident. So not only do they support us financially, which obviously we couldn't pay the bills without, but at the end of the day, they also support us just being there to lift us up when we're down, and they're going to support us win or lose. And that's super rare in today's world. And we feel really, really privileged, and we're very lucky to have them as part of our team. So thank you. And everybody they're just an amazing company, and hopefully everybody will go out there and support them, because they really are an incredible place.
Well, listen, they've been a big part of curling. I mean, obviously supporting some of the, sponsoring some of the big events on the tour.
Yep.
But certainly with the head office being here in Manitoba, to have, two of our top teams representing it. And Mackenzie, I'm sure it's a special vibe around here too. I mean, of the people and just how happy they are to be involved with your team.
It is. From the moment we walked into the door, like through the door, we were just like welcomed completely. And like we met so many people, and they were all so kind and so generous, and they were here for us, and we were here for them. And it's not like they're giving us and we're taking, or we're giving them anything and they're taking. It's a complete partnership. And like Jen said, it feels like a family, and everyone involved here is just so happy and so willing to just help us try to be the best that we can. And I mean, we're here for them too, and trying to promote their brand as well. And honestly, we couldn't ask for a better title sponsor. They're incredible.
Well, listen, and I don't think they could have done a better job picking teams to work with this year.
You.
So, listen, an absolute pleasure to see you again, Mackenzie. Great to meet you for the first time, and book it. We'll be talking to you guys throughout the season, and everyone in the province will be cheering you guys on for a great season first together, and hopefully 4 great years, and maybe return to a certain event that you've been to a couple times.
That would be a good plan, wouldn't it? So yeah, and thanks everybody out there for all the support. We really do love it, and it means a lot.
Good luck this weekend. We'll be paying attention. Yes. I can't believe the season's already started.
Tomorrow 9 a.m. we play.
No flight delays, please. No flight delays, please.